If you got Rhizome Johnson grass that is across an entire pasture, this is about the only way you're going to get it without going to another chemical that will train wreck your Bermuda grass. I just do not like to use it. Pastora is only going to slow it down for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and it works. Now, if you got an island or two of Rhizome Johnson grass, the best thing you can do is get you a pump sprayer with Roundup and ride out there and spray that island. Don't try to spray the whole pasture. We can use a pre-emerge and control it as a seedling product and then kill off the rhizome stuff with Roundup.
So will this work with miscanthus?
Yeah, it'll kill miscanthus. All right, so 1.5 ounces of Pastora, 4 to 6 ounces of Roundup. You got to hit your Johnson grass when it's knee high. If you let it get above knee high, you're not going to have near the control out of it. On foxtail, early as you can possibly get it on it. And as I said, we worked with this. This is the old treatment regimen for foxtail. We worked with this stuff for so long to get it down to 10% of a stand, and looked at the money we were spending, and we said, we got to have something better. And one of the chemical company reps said, just wait till next year. And that came out there. Older plants again, 8 ounces of Roundup in there. But remember, you're looking at probably 3 years to clean out an extensive infestation of Rhizome Johnson grass. And you're going to have to do something to control your seedling along with it. Although this will get the seedling stuff, a pre-emerge will help you a lot better. Next slide. Pigweeds. I tell people, when you're looking at controlling broadleaf weeds, you're better off to get out there and control them when they're 2, 4, or 6 leaf. You got 2 true leaves on this plant over here and a set of seedling leaves up there on B. If you come down, you got 4 true leaves that have formed on this plant, and then you come over here and you've got 6 or 7 true leaves on that plant, and that's when you want to spray pigweed. Preferably upper left or lower left. When it gets over here to 6 leaves or starts moving toward 8 leaves, it gets to be more difficult to control. And folks, you might as well just pour your water right out of the bucket for the upper right side, because you ain't gonna kill it. It's gonna be like a rattlesnake. You might kill him and come back 5 minutes later and pick him up to get the rattles off of him, and he bites you. Because the nervous system's still there. Well, that's what'll happen with pigweed. You spray it right there, and it's gonna bite you with $250,000 worth of seeds. Next slide. Now, this seed reserve is giving you some problems. It's very persistent, and some of these weed seeds are viable, like I said, for a decade. Next slide. Now, treat late spring to early summer. Go out there and scout and look. And when you start seeing those pigweed seedlings and they're like this, let them get a couple more leaves on them, and most everything is going to be up where you can go out there and spray just a quart of good old-fashioned 2,4-D. Now remember, we're late spring to early summer. Putting 2,4-D out and you got cotton next to it is going to be problematic. So just remember that it can, in warm weather, it can get up and walk off on you. So that's a decision you got to make to spray this. But if you're just on open pasture land and you don't have any cotton near you, and thankfully I don't have any cotton in Putnam County, and I threatened my last cotton guy if he started to grow it again, I'd shoot him. But just be careful with that. But this stuff works. Gets a little bit bigger, you can go to Gray Zone Next, but remember the Gray Zone Next has still got a 2,4-D component in it. Just don't let them get any bigger. If they get bigger than that, just get your bush hog out and go to bush hogging. Next one, please. Dog fennel. This is a size thing with dog fennel. If you let it get 3 foot tall, again, you might as well just get the mower out, because it is darn hard to kill. Plants that are 20 inches and under are controlled with a 2,4-D amine, or a product like Weed Master that's 2,4-D and dicamba, very easily. A quart of it will kill them. But don't wait, because when you go out there, it's kind of like growing zucchini. You go out there, you get home from work, and there's a zucchini that long. You wait till the next afternoon, and that thing's as big as your arm. And that's what will happen to you with dog fennel. It'll get big in 2 or 3 days. It grows literally like the proverbial weed. Now, as you get over 20 inches, the amount of control offered by 2,4-D will decrease. Between 20 and 36, you're looking at only an 80% control rate, which is pretty good. But if you spray it when it's less than 20 inches, you're about 99.5%. So you can clean it out. Anything over 36 inches, go get the mower. Next one. All right, alternative, Gray Zone Next, 1.5 to 2.1 pints per acre when the weeds are actively growing, and ideally they should all be under 30 inches. This is if it gets out of the barn on you, and you can spray it up to 30 inches. Tank mix of Gray Zone Next and a pint of Pasture Guard, or bump in a pint of 2,4-D, and you'll probably get 50 to 60% of it. About the best we can do with dog fennel. Next. Soda apple. Now this is a pretty complex control methodology. Note at the bottom, if you mow it, and a lot of people do, you gotta wait 40 to 60 days before you go out there and treat it. And that's where I see people fail a lot. Surmount, which is picloram and fluoxapyr, 2 pints per acre. Gray Zone, old-fashioned Gray Zone P plus D is still one of the best things that I've seen, which is picloram and 2,4-D, 2 pints to the acre. Gray Zone Next, which is aminopyrrolid and 2,4-D. And y'all notice, somebody told me I sure did like 2,4-D. Most all of these new generation chemicals and combo products have got 2,4-D paired with something else. And if we get to those plants early, the 2,4-D component will do our work for us. And we don't have to pay for the extra chemistry. So with Gray Zone Next, 1.5 pints per acre. And again, if you mow this darn stuff, you're gonna have to wait for 1.5 months to 2 months before you go back and treat it, or you just wasted your chemical. Next one. Maypops. Now this is a hard one. My wife has been trying to get these sort of things growing in our yard for I don't know how long, and she finally has been successful. But they create a massive root system, and they're very persistent. Most anything that's got triclopyr in it will work. The best one we found is Pasture Guard, and you're talking about 3 years worth of applications to get rid of it. And you want to try and get it on them when they're as young as possible. Basically, they start to sprawl out and they get that first tendril on them. That's about the time to hit these things. 1.5 to 4 pints per acre. I had a weed specialist in Mississippi tell me, forget the 1.5 and go with the 4. It's expensive. And these things can be a problem. I hate to think about how many of them I spread as a youngin' with me and my cousins throwing them at each other. Deer eating them and spreading them. Multiple applications. You ain't gonna be one and done. Next. remember, it's a war, not just a battle. One battle ain't gonna get you there. You gotta be persistent. As Dr. Tim Murphy told me, he used to tell people, Tim would get out and talk to the group, and I love Tim to death, God rest his soul. And he'd look there and he'd say, yeah, y'all didn't get here overnight, and you ain't gonna get rid of them overnight. And he was right. At least 3 years of most weed control programs. But with the pre-emergent products that we've got now, you're gonna be doing a lot better and maybe shorter in duration if you get them targeted right. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So, you've got all these different products, but if you use that pre-emergence, does the pre-emergence take care of the dog kennel and the soda apples and the maypops and all that stuff?
It will take care of the annual seeds.
Only the annual seeds?
Once it's established, these perennials like maypop are established, it can be a problem. Dog fennel is a perennial, a weak perennial. And if you'll notice, you'll mow it off and it comes back up out of the clump. So that's why we want to have something that's got good residual in it. And if we get it young, what'll happen is the plants pull all that energy out trying to grow, and you kill it, and it's got nothing left to reboot with. But yes, to control any of the annual reproduction, one of these products is pretty good, and that's why, you know, we looked at with foxtail being blessed with a good pre-emerge, because that was our problem, was trying to control all the seed it put out there.
So, if you're, okay, so it sounds to me like you're layering these products. So you would start with the pre-emergence and then, I mean, because
It
we've already used that.
it depends on your issue. If you're looking at tropical soda apple, maypop, dog fennel, you're going to have, I would just say no pre-emerge at that point, and I would go straight with Surmount or whatever chemical that's going to be best in your situation, and start working on them as true perennials.
Yeah, because we've got a terrible soda apple problem.
Yeah. And if they're, you know, or if, are they in the pasture?
Yes.
Now, are you identifying those correctly?
They look just like what you just showed us.
You sure they aren't Carolina horse noodle? Because a lot of people get fooled when they look at them and they see that little tomato looking thing on there. And I have people call me about tropical soda apple, and when I get there, it's a dog's beta.
Well, does the tropical soda apple make a big plant about like this, and then it goes under the ground and shoots out and makes another plant?
That's soda apple.
Okay, so it is soda apple.
Okay. So, but a lot of times people tell me they've got it, and I get there and it's Carolina horse noodle. And the leaves are basically the same shape. The fruit looks the same. And they can fool you if you don't know what you're looking at. But yeah, in your case, you're probably looking at, you know, working on it with, you know, with as a perennial crop to get rid of it. If you've got a lot of it throwing seeds down, it's not going to hurt to put a pre-emerge out there, but you can get expensive in a hurry doing that. If you're going to have to come back and kill what's established and then put a pre-emerge out there along with it. And again, that's where we do field visits. I'll be glad to come over and go with Tammy, and you know, we can look at it and see what you got and make a decision, because a lot of times that's when you're getting down to serious stuff where it's become a bad problem and you may have to tailor a treatment to it. Yes, sir.
What about Perilla Mint?
What happened to my Perilla Mint slide?
You have more slides.
No, something happened to my dadgum Perilla Mint slide.
Back up, it was there.
Did you see it? I didn't see it.
There it is. We jumped it.
Sorry, my bad. I'll take the hit.
Okay. Perilla Mint loves the shade. It loves a little bit of moisture. If you can eliminate those places, then you're in good shape. Now, I've got a producer good friend of mine lives next door. He didn't have a problem with it because usually it doesn't get out in the pasture. It's growing underneath the edge of the wood line. And one of the easiest ways to control this stuff when it's just fence row, wood line, and back in the shade is Roundup. You're not going to hurt your trees. Some of these other chemicals can cause damage to hardwood trees. So we've got to broker and factor that in if we're looking at controlling perilla mint. My favorite control methodology is get the wand sprayer on the tractor and go ride down and spray with Roundup. Get on a four-wheeler with a pump sprayer on there and go through the woods and spray it. You're not going to hurt your hardwood trees, and it will kill that stuff. Now we can use a pre-emerge. I have a producer who actually went in and put down in, I think he did the application in February, early February, and he used 2.5 ounces of Resolon in all those areas where it was growing, and he cleaned it out. Kept the seed from germinating. He did it 2 years in a row, and he's got down to where he's got very little of it now. Grazon P plus D, Grazon Next. Weed Master will kill it. I mean, it's a broadleaf weed. If you get it early enough, Plano 2,4-D will kill it. But we can have some problems with 2,4-D drifting off during that time of year because it's hot. It'll volatilize and leave us. Any of these products that's got 2,4-D in them can drift. And that's why my favorite treatment for perilla mint is going to be Roundup. It's very effective and you ain't hurting nothing. If it's got hard bark on a tree, you're good. And it doesn't grow in pastures where we've got in full sun. It just doesn't do very well, and it weeds itself out.
Is there a problem if the cattle eat that when it's in the wilt stage?
Yes, sir. It's wilt stage that hurts them. If this stuff is up and green, they can graze it, and it doesn't do, it might give them a bellyache, but it doesn't do anything until it wilts. And that's what happens. We're in late August, it's hot, you know, the pastures are diminished, these cows are standing in the shade, and there's that stuff wilted down, and they ain't had a whole lot to get their mouth on, and that's when they eat it, and it ends up killing them. So yes, I would, when you treat this stuff, get them out of there until it dries up, and then you should be fine. All right.
I got one about the horse nettle. What's the best way to kill the horse nettle?
The pre-emerge. And otherwise, a 2,4-D application when it's a wee little lad. That's it. It was in that group slide there. You know, just scout it. Don't let it get fur and briars. When it's still good and tender and you can grab it barehanded and it don't bite you back, that's when the 2,4-D will clean it up. And if you go out there, any of these summer weed complexes, you got horse nettle and pigweed, they're annual plants. If you put that pre-emerge down in timely fashion, they're not going to come through it. I've been totally amazed with this stuff as to how well it works across a broad spectrum of annual weeds, and it gets rid of all of it.
So is it too late for a pre-emerge at this point? We're like right on the cusp, aren't we? Unless, I mean...
As cold as we have been, I have not seen anything germinating.
Okay.
So you probably could get it on now and be okay.
It's gonna be in the 70s next week.
Yeah, but we've set stuff back, but if we have 2 warm weeks, we're gonna be right where we don't wanna be. So, you know, the thing about this is plan ahead. If you've got that issue, control it conventionally maybe this year, and then look at coming in late November, early December, right up to the 1st of January, and get the stuff.
Well, the horse nettle, like, if I've got a pretty thick thatch of Bermuda from, you know, last year, you know, if I don't do the pre-emerge, with the posts? I mean, like if they're underneath all that thatch, am I gonna
Scout
be
it,
hitting to
and when
them
they
at all?
when they peek out,
When they peek out, then hit them.
then hit them with a quarter 2,4-D.
Okay.
And if they're really bad, 2,4-D dicam will cost you another quarter.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, are there any methods other than chemicals to eliminate some of these?
Broadleaf weeds, crabgrass and stuff like that, grazing it, goats. Goats are very effective as far as controlling any type of forb. They'll go in there and they have a passion for eating the forbs, and they don't like grass except for crabgrass. And there's nothing in this world I don't think is a grazing animal or a browsing animal that doesn't like crabgrass. It's high nutrition. But that's going to be the best thing I can tell you. Yes, sir.
What about your little weeds and your wild camel control?
All that stuff's an annual. And if you got that, and bitterweed wasn't on my list, but it's in that group of annual plants that you can control very easily with a pre-emerge put out in the right time frame. Or go in and spray with 2,4-D when it's in the seedling stage, and you fry it.
So my fields are like covered with onions, wild onions. I don't even know if that hurts anything, but they're
2,4-D is effective on small wild onion. Depending on what you've got out there, and whether it's onion or garlic, there's a number of products we got, including Surmount, that'll take it out. You just have to go look and see what you got, because there's a difference between wild garlic and wild onion, and the two different chemicals to control them.
We're gonna be sprinkling some bluegrass. After we sprinkle, what can we put out to keep the competition down?
2,4-D, a quart, but you gotta be able to water it in. So if you can sprig, and most of the time we try to sprig in front of a rain. Need about a 1/2 inch of rain, put a quart of 2,4-D on top of it, and put it out right in front of the rain. I mean, be looking at your radar thing on your cell phone and going, yeah, it's gonna be here in 2 hours. And get out there and put it down, and it will water it down in, and you will see about a 70 to 80% control on broadleaf weeds, crabgrass, and other annual grasses. But it is a very close timing thing to do that. But that's the only product that we've got. There's nothing labeled to do it. That's an old Dr. Tim Murphy trick of sprigging grass. And it works, but you've got to get it watered in, just to get it on the ground and get it watered in almost immediately.
And that's how much per acre?
A quart.
Quarter.
You can go up to 2 quarts if you wanted to, but a quart is enough if you get it watered in. And it does not inhibit rooting. Anything else we put out there will club the roots on that grass. Going once.
Well, how about another plant? Hemp, dog biting.
What now?
Hemp, dog biting.
That's another annual that you can control with a pre-emerge, or get it young with 2,4-D. And folks, y'all can stand here and say what if all night long, and I'm gonna fire it right back at you, either a pre-emerge if it's a broadleaf, or go out there when it's in the seedling stage and spray a quart of 2,4-D on it, and you'll kill it. It ain't rocket science.
So really.
If it was, I wouldn't be just standing here talking to you. All right, one last question. The help standing over here in the corner wanting to go to the house.
Yeah, but I'll ask you after.
If you want a copy of Keith's slides, he's gonna send them to me, just tell me and I'll email them.
Okay.
They're on your laptop, Tammy. It's on your laptop.
Okay.
You had a question? I'm standing here.
Mechanism of action of the drug.
What's that?
Action of the drug, how does it work on the plant?
On 2,4-D, it grows it to death.
It grows like a cancer.
Not like a cancer, it speeds up the growth rate of the plant. No, cancer is a cell that's out of control, that the body can't, but with 2,4-D, it just turns the plant, puts it on speed basically, and the plant grows itself to death.
All right, y'all.
Yep. We still got a couple more things to do. Mr. Keith, thank you. Y'all can carry on this thing. Everybody get restless, so let's give Mr. Keith a... Got a couple